name of civic education and in the name of, enhancing participation in the electoral process. Be very careful.
Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga takes a break from the political campaigns as he embarks on a tour of the United Kingdom from today, just hours after he was crowned the Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate. Upon return, Mr. Raila Odinga will be hitting the road again as he carries on with his campaigns. This will include unveiling the Vijana na Raila Brigade and an expanded Azimio Mtani team with new members from Azimio la Umoja constituent parties.
Basically going to be like an ambassador of Kenya outside there. I've been invited to give talks at different institutions. One of them is the Commonwealth Institution at Marlborough House, and then Chatham House. But I've also going to be engaging the media and so on. I'll also be meeting Kenyans and talk to Kenyans about development back here at home. And I'll also be going to be talking to the media, as it were. So generally, I'll be meeting friends.
The Kenya Certificate for Secondary Education exams kicked off today with 831,015 students sitting for the national examinations. Speaking while in Nakuru, where she was supervising the examination distribution exercise, the Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Nancy Macharia, has said that the candidates and the teachers have prepared well for the KCSE examinations. In the meantime, candidates have until April 1st to submit their choice of courses to the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Assessment Service.
And this morning in Nairobi, we already had 2 students with cell phones. We are going to be very soft with them. We shall allow them to take the exams. But I want to once again just to warn that any teacher who feels he or she is brave enough to open, particularly the second paper, we shall know where you have done it and we shall come for you, just like we did in Nigeria and just like we did in Tanzania.
2 students are unfortunately writing their exams, and that is the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exams in the police station after they have been found with mobile phones. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha said the cases were reported in Nairobi. Magoha at the same time warned teachers and supervisors of serious consequences should they be found leaking the national examinations.
Masuala ya uizi ya mtihani ni kitu ambao tumekuwa tukisema kwamba tunaangalia kwa sababu ya vitu viwili. Tunataka kurudisha heshima, integrity back, na pia usawa, fairness. Kwamba kila mtoto apate kufanya mtihani katika ule sana, asipate kuona mtihani mbele. Na kuna mikakati mingi tumefanya.
I really want to thank our teachers because, as you know, this was a heavily shortened term. And they had a lot of, the syllabus was congested and they had to do everything to ensure they covered. And our teachers did it. And we are here now administering the exams and we are extremely proud of them. They will do the best. Yes, there will be time and everything will be done. Our teachers are the best, as you know, and they are prepared. They have already delivered this one, and this time was heavily congested. And they will do the same, and we will deliver those exams as expected so that then we can get back to normality.
Still on matters national examinations, Kenya Defence Force soldiers are expected to deliver Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exams to places that have been marred by security issues in Lamu County. Speaking at Kakoneni Girls Secondary School in Kilifi County, after witnessing the distribution of examination papers, Coast Regional Commissioner George Elungati said that the officers are going to ensure the security of the candidates as well as the integrity of the examinations.
So far, I think I've looked at the reports. All our sub-counties have been able to start this exam. The exam has gone to the examination centers. So far, we have no hitches, including in our very difficult areas like Tana River, Lamu, Taita Taveta. I think we are set for today. Examination centers are safe. Like we are saying, this is a multi-agency effort. In places where we have, for example, Lamu, where we have KDF, especially Lamu East, KDF is giving us support, is supporting our police officers and ourselves and to deliver the exams and to ensure that the exams is actually administered and is returned to the containers. So far, we've had no incident relating to exam safety or candidate safety and things like that. So I think we will be able to assess as the day goes by, but we are confident that with the plans that are in place, the exam will be administered to the.
On to other stories. The suspect believed to have been behind the sexual harassment incident perpetrated on a female motorist on Wangari Maathai Road in Nairobi last Friday has been arrested. The suspect, identified as Zachariah Nyaora Obadia, was nabbed by detectives from Nairobi area operations at the Kenya-Tanzania border earlier today. Nyaora Obadia was nabbed by detectives from Nairobi area operations at the Kenya-Tanzania border on Monday. Detectives believe he was attempting to cross into Tanzania a week after the uproarious harassment incident that sparked a nationwide crackdown on border operators. In a statement last Tuesday, the DCI said the suspect was scientifically placed at the crime scene before he was traced down to Mukuru Kayaba informal settlement. While assuring of his looming arrest, the DCI further issued an ultimatum for Nyaora's accomplices to surrender, saying that they too have been identified. Christine Mutindi for SHANI TV. The Interfaith Council, during a media briefing today, welcomed government's move of lifting COVID-19 protocols, paving the way for the resumption of full in-person worship for vaccinated persons. The council's chair, Archbishop Anthony Moheria, however, maintains that places of worship will be expected to observe various hygiene protocols, which include hand washing, temperature screening, and sanitization of shared items, cautioning that the pandemic is not yet over, hence Kenyans should not lower their guard. Muheria has at the same time confirmed that curbs on attendance and timings at services, weddings and funerals have been lifted, while the elderly and vulnerable are no longer restricted.
Therefore, now advise that the places of worship can resume full capacity according to the phase 4 of the guidelines of phased reopening of places of worship. 2. The time limits for the services is also lifted. All elderly and vulnerable can now attend the worship. We commend at the same time that it would be highly advisable that they be vaccinated, although we will not be requiring the proof of vaccination in places of worship. 3. Care, however, must still be observed to avoid any physical contacts like shaking hands and sharing items in the service. 4. In a measure of prudence, we still advise that all must continue wearing masks in the places of worship. 5. We will continue to observe all measures of hygiene by washing hands or sanitizing before and after the worship services, as well as in all moments where handling shared items. Special attention must be given to sanitizing of microphones. 6. The limitation.
The University of Eldoret workers, lecturers and non-teaching staff today held a protest over the claims of delayed implementation of the 2017-2021 collective bargaining agreement and the partial payments of their dues. The workers who were locked out of the institution emphasized that they are not ready for negotiations with the university management rather than being paid. The union leaders now want the university management to intervene on the issue.
Tuko hapa leo tunasikitika sana kwa sababu tumefungiwa nje. Kikazi tulikuwa tunaendelekea kwa kazi asubuhi, tunafika maaskari wamewekwa hapa na hatujui ni kwa sababu gani. We should be working as at now, lakini sasa tumefungiwa nje na sababu, kiini cha sababu ni kwamba lazima tulipwe kulingana na koti vile tulinegotiate ikakuwa registered na ikakuwa executed by the court ya wafanyikazi. So it was done and we are agreed. We've had correspondence with them and all this time we've been negotiating with them, but now it has reached to this. We are requesting the council to come kuingilia kati so that hii university yetu isiende to docks. We only want harmonious coexistence with it. Now since the CEO amekataa kuitimiza vile kotini alisema, now tumefungiwa nje na yeye anafaa kuwa anakuwa charged with contempt of court sababu yeye hajatimiza kenye koti.
On to international news. Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Rachel Omamo held bilateral talks with her Saudi Arabian counterpart, His Highness Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud in Riyadh. Discussions focused on bilateral issues of mutual benefits between the two nations. The two ministers during the talks signed a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Kenya and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on political consultations aimed at strengthening the existing friendly relations of two countries.
The foreign ministers also launched the first session of the Kenya-Saudi Arabia Joint Commission for Cooperation and emphasized the significance of this inaugural session as the commencement of a new era of meaningful high-level engagement. Meanwhile, CS Omamo paid a courtesy call on His Excellency Dr. Majid bin Abdullah Al Kasabi, Minister of Commerce and Investment of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. They discussed ways of strengthening bilateral relations, enhancing trade and investments, and other potential areas of cooperation. In addition, the CS also held a bilateral meeting with Dr. Abdullah Nasser Abu Nain, Vice Minister of Human Resource and Social Development for Labor in Riyadh. Discussions focused on labor and consular matters between Kenya and Saudi Arabia.
Motorists are set for more pain at the pump as petrol and diesel prices rise by 5 Kenya shillings per litre in the latest round of the pump prices review by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA). The latest increase comes 5 months after the last hike in petroleum prices last September, as the petrol price stabilization mechanism fails to hold ground this time round.
A litre of super petrol will now cost 134.72 shillings in the capital Nairobi, while diesel will cost 115.60 shillings per litre. Users of kerosene have been spared from the recent hike, with the price of the commodity holding unchanged on the full cover of the price stabilization mechanism, leaving a litre of the product in the capital at 103.54 shillings, despite a 15.9% jump in import costs. Without the partial use of the subsidy, Kenyans will have paid an average of 155.11 shillings per litre for petrol, 143.16 shillings for diesel, and 130.44 shillings for kerosene. The rise in fuel costs is expected to heighten the cost of living, reversing the latest disinflation trend which saw consumers' prices ease in both January and February. For instance, February inflation fell to 17-month low, 5.3% last month on unchanged energy costs, which offset a steady rise in food costs during the month. Reporting for SHANI TV News Plug, Melissa Kialo.
Tomorrow in most of the counties across Kenya. And we start off with Nakuru weather forecast, where it is going to be at highs of 27 and lows of 25 and some clouds, which will help reduce the amount of heat up to at least 20 degrees Celsius, and that is tomorrow between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And now looking at Nyeri County, we will have highs of 27 degrees Celsius and lows of 23 degrees Celsius. And this is just some of the counties. And this is to help you to dress appropriately tomorrow. In Naivasha, it is going to be at highs of 25 and lows of 24 degrees Celsius. It is going to be a little bit cloudy, and this will reduce the temperature at least by 10%. And this is how it is going to reach to 24 degrees Celsius. And just moving on to other counties, and we look at Machakos County, where we will have highs of 27 degrees Celsius and lows of 26. Highs of 27 degrees Celsius and lows of 26. In Wote Town, it is going to be highs of 30 degrees and lows of 28 degrees. It is not going to be cloudy in that area, so tomorrow it is going to be a little bit sunny for residents of that area. And now moving on, we look at Garissa. In Garissa, it is going to be highs of 32 degrees Celsius and lows of 31 degrees Celsius. This means that the temperature is not going to reduce so much in Garissa County, and as the other counties are going to experience a little bit of cloud, and this will help in reducing the heat. In Nairobi County, it is going to be highs of 22 degrees Celsius and lows of 18 degrees Celsius. It is going to be a little bit cloudy in some of the areas. So it is going to be cloudy in some of the areas, and this will help in reducing the amount of heat, and that is tomorrow. In some other areas, we can see that it is going to be a little bit windy at the same time. So this is going to reduce. In Baringo County, it is going to be highs of 34 and lows of 33 degrees Celsius. It is going to be a little bit cloudy at the same time, and this is from 12 p.m. and this is going to reduce the heat by at least 10 degrees Celsius. And at night, we're also going to have some clouds, and that is in Baringo County. In some other counties like Mwingi, it is going to be sunny all through the day with highs of 30 and lows of 29. This is just a forecast on some of the counties, and this is in a bid to help you to dress appropriately for tomorrow. In Narok County, it is going to be highs of 28 and lows of 27 degrees Celsius. It is going to start off at 26 and 20 degrees, but it's going to increase as it gets to around 12 p.m. and that is tomorrow. And that is the weather forecast for some of the counties for tomorrow. And now moving to sports news this night, Kakamega High School rugby coach Mr. Amos Wamanga has welcomed the directive by the Ministry of Health to allow the return of school games next term. Wamanga, whose side are the defending rugby 15th champions, said the directive will be a big motivation to the students participating in different co-curricular activities because they will be practicing with the aim of competing against each other, unlike 2 years ago when the pandemic put a halt to all the ball games. Kakamega, who are also the East Africa champions, will be looking forward to continuing their dominance in the game, and Mr. Wamanga said they will have the quality players in their side to do the job. And that marks the end of our bulletin this night, and I would not leave here without giving you a tongue twister this night, and maybe we repeat the one we did last time because I got people saying that they were not able to do it. And let's just go. Betty bobbled her big bun in the big blueberry bush. Betty bobbled her big bun in the blueberry bush, and maybe you try that, and tomorrow we will have another tongue twister. My name is Christine Mutindi. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Welcome to Mountain View Gardens Nanyuki by Finca Properties Limited. These are 50 by 100 plots going for a cash offer price of 220,000 Kenya shillings and 250,000 Kenya shillings in installment. All legal and transfer fees inclusive. Mountain View Gardens is located in a gated community along Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, neighboring All Pejeta Conservancy and Mount Kenya Homes. This area has all social amenities, all with the roads, water, electricity, and an electric fence already installed. Mountain View Gardens is just few minutes drive from Nanyuki town and is ready for immediate development with a free site visit every Wednesday and Saturday. For inquiries, bookings, reservations, and free site visit, SMS the word plot to 4309. Call us on 07